said that we should immediately transform to a serious atmosphere, it should be immediately followed. So for those who are having the travel for these 3 days at a distance which is more than 4 hours in traveling, for them I will give exemption. But for all others, they have to attend the weekend session on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. The session starts at 9. So now, continuing the discussion last time, wherein we had introduced ourselves to a concept of first. I suppose that there is no scope for crosstalk, no question has been asked. So ft is a function. Ft is a two-dimensional function, and we must be able to visualize this two-dimensional function, which has been explained to you. Visualizing in 3D always may be convenient in some cases, but if not, then at least you should be able to visualize ft as ft occupies one point in 2D plane, or at any
कोण ऑफर आहे तो शनिवारी लेक्चर घेण्याचा ते जरा आता सगळ्यात शेवट आहे ते लेक्चर घेणार सरांना छावा आहे माहिती का
So at given point of t, ft represents one point in 2D plane. At given point of t is a single dimensional variable, and at its any specific value, ft is one point in 2D plane. In that context then, if we look at ft in general for variable t, then what I can see, ft would be a locus in 2D plane. Are you getting me? It may be of any type. If it is repetitive, it will after some time, after the period will come on the same locus, otherwise it will be of any type. Are you getting me? So it is a locus in 2D plane. E raised to minus st is also a locus. For different values of s, it would be a locus like a circle, or if s is only real, like this, not like this. If s is only real, what will happen? If it is only real, then it would be on this axis, but it is 2D plotting. If then e raised to minus st, how e raised to minus st would be? At t equal to 0,
1.
Recording on. So e raised to minus st, which is another signal, which would be 0, which will be 1 at t equal to 0. If s is real and positive, in that case it will come in this way asymptotically towards 0. If S is real and negative, it will go asymptotically on this side towards, it will go towards infinity on this side. If S is imaginary and positive, if S is imaginary and positive, it would be that it will come in this way, imaginary and negative in this way, and complex, it will either expand or contract depending upon what the real and imaginary means. It would be either coming in this way or expanding in this way or coming in this way and expanding in the other manner. I would like to once again go on record on YouTube that your nonsense behavior should be stopped. Now we are setting zero tolerance limit. The tolerance limit, which is otherwise a reasonable one, is now set to 0 because you are not of the stature to allow a non-zero tolerance limit. Any kind of even small indiscipline will invite a very heavy punishment. Recording on. That's what I mean. So Ft, correct? So Ft and e raised to minus st both represent two-dimensional variables varying with respect to time in 2D plane. Obviously, then their product will also be a two-dimensional variable. Their product will also be a two-dimensional variable, again varying in the 2D plane. So Ft e raised to minus st, Ft e raised to minus st will also be a two-dimensional variable, and depending upon nature of Ft and depending upon value of S, how Ft e raised to st will vary can be thought of by you. So I think that it is giving a wide scope of imagination for plotting the locus of the product Ft e raised to minus st. The product Ft e raised to minus st is quite interesting to plot it. And then its integration is something which we are thinking of. Before means now Laplace transform formula, everybody knows that so Ft e raised to minus st, Ft e raised to minus st becomes what? Ft e raised to minus st becomes a two-dimensional variable varying in time. It is to be integrated from minus infinity to infinity. Then in this now, when we integrate over entire period with dt, t no longer remains a variable. Are you getting me? Because we have considered all values of t. So t no longer remains a variable, means earlier t was variable in Ft. In e raised to minus st, t was variable and s was parameter. Means for one value of parameter, variable has got all values. With this integration now, what happens is that for given value of s, we get some fs, function of s. And then if we allow s to vary throughout, in that case, Ft gets transformed into a function of s. So Ft, which was a function of t, gets transformed into a function of s. Now, the point to be noted down is the significance of this integration. What does it really mean? To know it, because it is now a Ft e raised to minus is a two-dimensional variable. Before that, we should try to have a proper meaning of fx dx. Integration fx dx. What we are attempting at? integration of fx dx. What we are attempting in this. So when we talk of fx dx, fx is a function of x. For every value of, means if we are having y equal to fx, the derivative thing is substantially clear, at least at pseudo level, but integration is somewhat less understood. If y is equal to fx, means at every value of x we are thinking of a single dimension simple function. For every real value of x there would be some real value of y. It is called a plot of function. Then what do we mean by integration? What do we mean by integration? Then we have a theme of fx dx. Dx is infinitesimally small. So product fx dx corresponds to a strip. Product fx dx, we go for finite integral, because for infinite and finite there is small difference, and we restrict right now to finite. So we put the limits of integration of a and b. Here we are having, say, is fx, fx, a and b. So fx dx is area of a small strip, and its integration from a to b means if we may have right, this is fx dx, right? Then such infinite strips, as dx is very small or infinitesimally small, between a to b there will be such infinite strips, and area of each strip would be infinitesimally small because this is infinitesimal. So addition of infinite strips, each of infinitesimally small area, if it is being done, then it is the straightaway total area under the curve. Integration is to that extent limit of sum. So fx dx is integrated, or fx is integrated over a to b, means the fx dx is the strip area, and we take the area of all such strips which lie between x equal to a and x equal to b. Naturally then integration is the total area. Now if we are having a function give a sign like this. Like this, and between a and b. Then what I find is that the areas cancel each other. Areas cancel each other. So, to be more precise, what I can think of, if I go on adding all points, if I go on adding all points only, means what? Here there is some value, next point there is some value, next point there is some value, next point there is some value. If I go on adding all points only, what I will end up? Means if we are trying to interpret fx dx integration in different ways. if I go on adding all points, what will happen? Means no, I am not thinking of area. I am adding all points. Since the points are even though limits are finite, two limits, right, A and B, but between A and B, x is varying. So how many points are there? Infinite. So for each point on this x-axis, there would be a corresponding point which will be there on fx. So since these are infinite, this is infinite to infinite mapping of perpendicular lines, so it would be infinite again. So these are uncountable infinite points. These are uncountable infinite. Then it is difficult for me to exactly add them and what I will get after addition. Are you getting me? What I will get after addition is very difficult for me to conclude in this case. Rather, what I will do, I will decide that even though infinite cannot be gauged as such, I can have its approximation by a reasonably large value. The reasonability is important. Suppose if I am having this as, say, we can have a equal to 2 to 5. If I want to integrate fx dx from a equal to 2 to a equal to 5, then what I will do, I will take 1 lakh points. I will take 1 lakh points. That I can take, right? And I will add those 1 lakh points. I will add those 1 lakh points. I will get some value. What is likely to happen? Since few points will be on positive side and few points are on negative side, they will cancel each other. In this case. In this case, they will not cancel. They will add up. So if I take 10 lakh points, what will happen? I will get more value. 1 crore points, I will get more value. So that what I am getting, is depending upon number of points I am taking, and that should not be it should be independent. So what I will do, what is area actually? Area is this, I will try to fit in, this is the base, this is something which is varying. This I will try to fit into a rectangle whose base is same and whose height is different. When these two areas will match, I want to have a rectangle whose area is equal to this area and whose base width is same. So when I will get these two things same? When the height is height is average of these all values. How many points I have? Infinite points. Finding out average of infinite points is not easy, but I can make it simpler by taking them 1 lakh points, 10 lakh points, add them and divide them by number of points. Are you getting me? Add all the points and divide them by number of points. That will give you average. As you take more points, your average will be more closer. So you get the average of this. This is to multiply by 5 minus 2, that is 3. So what this would be? This will be same as 3 into average of fx. Average of fx. What is average of fx? It is the addition of all points upon number of points. Is it clear? addition of all points upon number of points. In this case, what will happen? We take, since few points are positive, few are negative, the addition would be nearing 0. So, the concept of integration can be viewed as average of the function. Average of the, it is concept, what this is? This is concept of finite integration. Average of the function into the base 1. Average of the function into base 1. This is as regards to one-dimensional function. This is as regards to one-dimensional function. Now, how this is a two-dimensional function? The two-dimensional function. So, as regards to two-dimensional function, how we would be able to do it? So now here there is one problem. That problem is that we can plot this. Means here, if t is this and t is on this side actually, t is on this side. But that is not that important. So if t would be like this, so now try to understand very carefully that fx plotting like this is different, and if t I am plotting like this is different, because here t is on this side, t is on this side. Then what I will get, integration of, I will take a different formula, gt dt for t equal to say t1 and t2. How I will get the feel of gt dt where gt is a two-dimensional function. Gt is a two-dimensional function. So how I will get it? What gt dt will correspond to? You got the theme? Gt is a two-dimensional function of time. Integration of gt dt from t1 to t2. We should get a feel. So first of all, it will become a volume. First of all, it will become a volume. Why? Because gt is two-dimensional and t is one more dimension. So it will be volume. But again, there is here also, if you look at area, actual area is this plus this. But since it is on the negative side, we cancel. Since it is on the negative side, we cancel, and we say net area. It is net area. Similarly, there is a concept of net volume. The concept of net volume. So what it will correspond to? Listen very carefully. So T is in this way. T is in this, right? So if at every point of T there will be some value, this it will be in any manner it will proceed. Then what will happen? A strip of T, a strip dt. Remember, strip is like this, a strip dt, and this strip is from here, and now the thing of strip is with the moment at which we say strip. The problem here, what is the problem now? That strip gets twisted. Are you getting me? Because let us say a wider strip of this. So if this is a strip, then for all different values of t within this strip dt, the points, one may be here, one may be here, one may be here, one may be here. So you cannot join the strip so easily. You get the feel of strip now? And then how to do it? What is the solution? What is the way out? There is a way out. dt is infinitesimally small. dt is infinitesimally small and ultimately it degenerates to a point. Ultimately it degenerates to a point. So we can think of average of all points of GT. How average of all points of GT will be? It is addition of all points upon total number of points. Means now if I plot GT like this, at t means I am able to plot. I can't plot like this actually, but I can show at t equal to 0 it was like this, and it has proceeded in this manner. It has proceeded in this manner for t equal to this. Then I can plot average of all these points. What average of all these points would be? Average of all these points means take this, add this, add all these points and divide by the total number of points. So where you will get point? Somewhere. Is it clear? It will be average. This, how much time from say t1 to t2? This into t2 minus t1 would be the integration of GT from t1 to t2. It will need more clarity for you to understand. It will take time. And it is on one side, therefore no cancellation is taking place like this. But if I have some other function which is taking this shape, like this. So from t equal to t1 it starts, in this manner it proceeds till t2. This is t2 at t1. So what will happen? All these points are to be added up, and when we are adding up the points, what we find is that there is cancellation, because this t1 point, when I am adding with some other point, then this point is having this plus this point is having this plus this, so these two partially cancel, these two partially cancel, so net remains, and upon total number of points, actually upon total number of points, that weight doesn't mean much. It is some simple constant into the t2 minus t. So I would like to appeal to you to further think on integration of gt dt from t1 to t2, where gt is a two-dimensional function, and get a feel of what it's equal to. And if, when that is very clear, then integration of ft e raised to minus st, which is a two-dimensional function, with dt. If integration of ft e raised to minus st dt from minus infinity to infinity is fs. So try to understand the complexity of Laplace transform. For a given value of s, ft e raised to minus st will become a two-dimensional function, and integration of this two-dimensional function over entire time from minus infinity to infinity will be what it will be ultimately. It will be what? Ultimately it will be another two-dimensional point. What happens actually is that let us say, actually this number of points is not that way meaningful. In the why I say, we define that we take 1 crore points, then addition of 1 crore points upon 1 crore, addition of 1 crore points upon 1 crore into time. Into time I am doing. Then rather than doing separately into time, you can embed it very effectively if you understand the concept of average. Concept of average, that is addition upon number of points, is just to get the idea of average, so as to get a feel of average. So integration of gt dt is average of gt over the limits of t for integration into the width on which you are integrating. So if the width is infinite, again see the significance of Laplace transform. Width is infinite, right? And average is usually infinitesimal. So infinite into infinitesimal is finite, and you get a finite value of area, because the finite integral, or there is not finite, there is definite integral with limit. Definite integral with limits are minus infinity to infinity provide you infinite value for t. That is the rectangle. If you consider, it becomes infinite. The base of the rectangle becomes infinite. Base of the rectangle becomes infinite. If the average height is finite, then integration becomes infinite. So indefinite integral with limits as minus infinity and infinity will become infinite if the average height is finite. But if the average height is infinitesimal, then the integration will converge. So I would like for that everybody of you should carry the perception that definite integral means integral with limits. Definite integral is nothing but the difference in the limits for the variable with respect to which you are integrating into average of the function between those two limits. That is the value. लक्षात आलं का? मराठीमध्ये सांगतो. डेफिनेट इंटिग्रल म्हणजे काय? डेफिनेट इंटिग्रल म्हणजे ज्या याच्याशी आपण इंटिग्रेट करतोय त्याचे लिमिट्स आहेत, त्याचा डिफरन्स, राईट, मल्टिप्लाइड बाय जे फंक्शन आपण इंटिग्रेट करतोय त्याचं त्या रेंज मधलं ॲव्हरेज. म्हणजे इंटिग्रेशन ऑफ एफ एक्स डी एक्स फ्रॉम ए टू बी हे काय आहे तर बी मायनस ए into average of fx from a to b. Average of fx from a to b. Is it clear? Here it is expected that b is larger than a. ते उलटे केलं तर काय असतं आपण we should not complicate. Is it clear? लक्षात आलं का? Integration of fx dx from a to b म्हणजे काय? b minus a into average of fx for the period a to b. It's a continuous average. Fx is a continuous function, and I hope that you have understood the feel of average of a continuous function. लक्षात आलं? Is it clear? Continuous functions average म्हणजे काय हे तुमच्या लक्षात आलं असणार. And the same you can extend for two dimensional. Integration of gt dt t equal to t1 to t2 is t2 minus t1 into average of gt. जिथं gt हे टू डायमेन्शनल व्हेरिएबल आहे. टू डायमेन्शनल व्हेरिएबल्स ॲव्हरेज टू डायमेन्शनल असणार. म्हणजे टू डायमेन्शनल व्हेरिएबल जर का आपण वन डायमेन्शनल मध्ये स्प्लिट केलं तर त्या इंडिव्हिज्युअलचं ॲव्हरेज होऊ शकतं. क्लिअर? सो रिअल पार्ट ऑफ जीटी वेगळा काढू शकतो, इमॅजिनरी पार्ट वेगळा काढू शकतो, दोन्ही सेपरेट इंटिग्रेट करू शकतो, त्याचा ॲव्हरेज घेऊ शकतो आणि ते पुन्हा कंबाईन करू शकतो. सो दॅट इज द आन्सर. इज इट क्लिअर? One